I'm on my own, against the wall. The pressure's building, but no, I will never fall. Instead of crying, they hear me roar. And now I see that I'm way better than before. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch you fall down. I'm living large now. I never needed you at all. Think I fall down? I'ma watch you fall down. I'm living large now. I never needed you at all. I never needed you at all. Watch me shine now. Watch me shine now. I never needed you at all. I never needed you at all.
What's up, world? Y'all know what it is. Y'all heard what I said, Wrestling Pod. These were detailed. They don't want none. Y'all know what just happened. The 34th annual Royal Rumble event, which emanated from the Thunderdome at Tropicana Field. You know it was going to feature two Rumbles, but we had two key championship matches. But we're going to start with the pre-show, as we had the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line, as we had the Queen, Charlotte Flair, and the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, defending those Tag Team Championships against Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades, and the Irresistible Force, Nia Jax. Going into this match, we already predicted that this was going to change hands. We all seen the foreshadowing in the backstage area when Asuka and Charlotte were getting interviewed. That little look Charlotte gave just gave everything we needed to know. But we get to this match. It is what it is. I still think Nia just needs some work, man. I don't know what it is, but she just swings and she just does the same run into you because she big. But I mean, this was a pretty good match. We had a lot going on, but at the end of this match, you have new Women's Tag Team Champions, two-time Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax. Let's talk about this match.
Talk about the match is that the assist from the Nature Boy, the two-time Hall of Famer Ric Flair, comes out there once again to ruin his own daughter's match with Lacey Evans. A distraction from Lacey Evans caused Charlotte and Asuka to lose the titles.
And this has to be going towards a feud at WrestleMania or somewhere along the line over the next month or so, because for their consecutive match now, we have a interference from the Nature Boy on Charlotte.
Woo! Well, I told y'all since they lost the titles at TLC, I've been telling Darren every single week, but I kept telling them they was gonna fight them on a Raw, but they waited till Royal Rumble that Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler were gonna get the titles back. I mean, it was a distraction, but they got them back because first of all, Charlotte was a surprise coming back and getting the title shot, and they finally got that rematch to get them back.
Yeah, new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, but it's on to the main show. And the main show started off with 2021's first Finisher Fest. You heard it here first, Finisher Fest. And usually a Finisher Fest has to include certain part-timers, and this one included the WWE Hall of Famer, Goldberg, or as I like to call him, Old Bird.
Billy.
Getting another title shot because Drew McIntyre lacked respect for the WWE Championship against the Scottish Warrior, the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, who said he was going to keep that damn title. I can't say it was a good match. This was nothing but finishes. There was claymores, there was spears, there was a hammer jack, because it was poorly executed as Goldberg continues to do as he shows his age. I don't understand why the fuck he was in this match. However, after a plethora of all these damn finishes, we get the Claymore that we fucking wanted. McIntyre is still the champion. He bet not have fucking lost that belt. How y'all feel about it?
That's exactly what I said. He bet not losing little damn Goldberg. I don't even know why they brought Goldberg back to fight him. Probably just need another big name because it's the Royal Rumble. My guy Drew retains once again. Claymore country down.
I mean, WWE is full of nostalgia and they do this shit all the time. People like to say that a lot of old people are coming back to WWE just because AEW is becoming to reach its peak potential. New Japan is starting to catch on strong, even though there's not a lot of channels to watch it in the US. WWE has always been the land of nostalgia. There was no AEW around. People weren't watching New Japan Pro Wrestling when Batista won the Royal Rumble. I seen the exact replica of that Royal Rumble tonight. I seen Big E get pulled over the rope by somebody who wasn't even in the Rumble. Same thing that happened to CM Punk when Kane pulled him out. I seen a old guy, I'm not going to say part-time because Edge is supposed to be back, but he's still part-time to me then. I see a part-time win a Royal Rumble just like Batista did. And there was no body for WWE to still be challenging up against back then. So why would we think that WWE won't pull this bullshit on us with these old guys? This is what they do.
Speaking of the fact with nostalgia, not only that, you know, a lot of people consider Goldberg is one of the best. We know he's old, we know he's a part-timer, and a lot of people consider Drew McIntyre one of the best in today's wrestling. So maybe they gave that match as a way to show that Drew McIntyre is one of the best.
Yeah,
beating
the
Goldberg.
only thing I said, it went with the comic book thing too, that they was supporting for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's the only way I seen them having that match. But like we said, Goldberg better not have won that match.
I mean, I understand what y'all saying, but I still disagree because I feel like, to me, I understand how they try to book it in the sense, but to me, it's like Drew McIntyre said, it's like fighting my father. You can't just come out of nowhere. Haven't even been wrestling with us. Had one match like 6 months ago. Now all of a sudden, a year ago, now all of a sudden you come back talking about somebody not respecting you. Bro, your last 2 matches, you came out of nowhere just to get a title shot. You didn't fight nobody before
Nobody
that.
else. He just popped up and said he's getting the match.
Yeah, so to me, nah, that's bullshit. Like ain't no he wanted to show that he can contend with the best from the past. Motherfucker, you're not even supposed to be here. Like, how many paydays do you want? Do you have nothing else to do? Keep it going. Next was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. As you had the untouchable Carmella. Before you had another opportunity with her Somali Reginald. Young boy has been getting a lot of television work over the last couple of weeks. But they were going up against the Standard, the Blueprint, the legit boss, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks.
Yes, sir.
Here to defend that crown once again. And she was Louis V'd out, away from the extra colorful, cartoonish attire. She was on her shit tonight. And it was a decent match. You knew you was going to get the distractions from Reginald. He kept catching Mala, and the referee had to get his ass out of there. So you knew Mala was going to have to try a lot to get this W. But at the end, Sasha is still your SmackDown Women's Champion. How you feel about this match right here?
It was a pretty decent match. It wasn't as good as the one at the previous pay-per-view. I thought that was one of the best matches of the night the last time. This was a pretty decent match. Carmella held her own again. Of course, after Reginald getting ejected from the ring, but she held her own, but still ended up losing. And Sasha is still your SmackDown Women's Champion.
Like Darren and Dee was saying, it's a pretty good match. Carmella, she's been improving a lot in the ring, but once again, the boss, Sasha Banks, one of the best wrestlers, women's wrestlers in the company. She's still the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Next to us, the brightest spot, the best match, the best moment of the night, as we had the 30 Women's Royal Rumble match. And it started off with the role model, Bayley. And she was going up against
The returning Naomi.
She was back, baby. Naomi was back.
Hail the glow.
Oos was back in the building. She was looking good. She was feeling good. This was a nice, long, strong start to a match.
It was.
Next came out, number 3, was the EST.
Yes.
The quickest, the strongest, the roughest, the toughest, the fastest, the EST of WWE. She was number 3. Everything just kept coming. We had NXT surprises. We had Santana Garrett. We had Shotzi Blackheart. We had Dakota Kai. We had Toni Storm. We also had a couple of our legends. What we were supposed to get last year, but people messed it up because they were spying on the field doing rehearsals. We got Victoria this year. We were supposed to have her last year. She showed up, got her work in, gave us Widow's Peak. We also had Jillian Hall show up. We had a lot of interesting scenarios with old rivalries, potential rivalries. We had an Iconics reunion. We had Billie Kay doing some of her best acting work with Ruby, but when she was about to do the Icons with Peyton Royce and Ruby looked at her and she didn't do it. Then she teamed up with Jillian. They were taking people out. Then Jillian ended up taking her out. There was a lot of stuff going on. Y'all want to talk about some more of this?
Jelly and Billy. Once Billie Kay didn't do the Icons thing, she focused on doing different stuff in the match and then ended up getting eliminated by Ruby Riott.
After we get Rhea and we get Flair, Miss Charlotte at 15.
Woo!
Next, here comes Ric Flair's music. And here comes Lacey and another Flair rule. Charlotte was upset. Took out Lacey on the outside. After that, we had Alicia Fox. Right when she got in the ring,
What's up?
R-Truth music drops. And he comes down like he's ready for the Rumble. Gets all the way up to the ring and was like, oh, this the wrong Rumble. My bad.
Of course, the same exact posse all the time, leading the charge with the ninja suit on Tozawa.
Every time.
Of course, Lucha House Party, Lindsay Dorado and Grand Metalik, Drew Gulak with that orange and blue and white on every time. Chasing R-Truth, trying to get the title from him. And what happens? R-Truth get rolled up in by Alicia Fox during the Women's Royal Rumble.
During the women's match.
And Alicia Fox is the new 24/7 champion at that point.
But then, as the match keeps going on, she gets eliminated. And right when she gets eliminated, what happens next?
Truth rolled her up for a pin and got the title.
Became like a 48-time champion.
And you know what he did after that? He got out of there. And the chase kept going, goddammit. But after that, we had the theatrics. Naomi had to show us something. She fell to the outside. Feet didn't hit the ground. She used the help of Bianca Belair's braid to get us up back in position on the ropes. They start battling on the ropes. They work themselves back to the inside. Next thing you know, Alexa makes her way to the ring. But Alexa gets jumped in the match, and she starts to transform. But before the transformation is complete, she meets her brutality as Rhea ends the transformation, takes her out.
Tamina was in there, and they was looking at her. She was like, "That's my fan."
After they eliminated Tamina.
So after they started scrapping, now you just grabbed Tamina out of nowhere, took her, tried to pick her for some more and drop. And then they ended up eliminating her. Then right after that, Nia eliminated Shayna.
Nia Jax run into a wood line. Lana pulls the ropes down. She goes inside the ring. So Nia and Shayna are fucking mad. They go back in the ring and beat up everybody. You know your 30th entrant was Natalya, because they announced it. And just to point that out, I think announcing who's in the Rumble at any position is one of the dumbest things ever. Just let people fucking come to the ring. But that's just my opinion. Keep it going. We get down to our final three. The Queen, the EST, and Rhea Ripley. This got pretty good, as these two ladies knew that they had to double team the Queen, but she was going to repeat. They double teamed the shit out of her, and they got her out of the match. Charlotte knew she had been got. She laughed it off. It's down to Rhea. It's down to Bianca. Bianca Belair gets the W over Rhea Ripley after one of the best 3-4 minute exchanges of the end of the match. Bianca pulled it out. How y'all feel about this?
Excellent.
Congratulations.
I love it. Congratulations. And what did I tell y'all? When we did an episode back in November, he asked me this very question: who do I think is going to win the Royal Rumble? And I specifically said Bianca Belair. And towards the end of that match, as we talked about, they eliminated Charlotte, and we talked about them reversals. And you know that Bianca, she lasted about 58 minutes.
Yeah, she
longest time. And when she came up with that win, you could see how emotional she was. She earned that, and you could see after the match was over, even on Twitter, across social media, how happy the locker room was for her, because they know how hard she works and how hard she has come to this point.
Yeah.
So congrats to her for that.
This is such a monumental moment. Y'all know who we was rooting for. I love the girls both. But this was just a special moment. As I've already told the guys, I've dubbed it. We had in 2019, we had Kofi Mania. In 2020, even though we had a pandemic, we still basked in the glory of Keith Lee. And why not in 2021? Can we have Belair Mania at WrestleMania for Bianca? Make her moment this year at WrestleMania, Raymond James Stadium. Vince is smart and he loves money. He knows how much money could be behind it. He has a potential superstar in the making. Another superstar that adds to the likes of Becky Lynch, of Charlotte Flair, to the Baileys, to add to that strongest woman division in professional wrestling in the WWE. She's right there. And then you have all the planning seeds to have the first and probably most of major professional wrestling, where you have a duo where you could possibly have a star champion woman and her husband be a champion Montez Ford at one point. Y'all have the seeds to plant that. These two could be mega superstars in a couple years. Y'all have the seeds. They're already married. Y'all have y'all first real mega duo of husband and wife taking over a league because y'all have it all there.
They're very good, had the potential.
But again, y'all got this right. Y'all got this right. Y'all worked this up for the last couple months, making sure that Bianca was in the right position to win this. Let's not fuck it up at WrestleMania. It's Belair Mania. Next, the marquee matchup that I was interested in seeing, especially after we waited for Roman to sign that paper. We had the last man standing match, as it was fight Owens fight or stun the world, as it was from Maryville, Quebec, Canada, Kevin Owens getting, this may be his last shot to get the Universal Championship, as he went up against the big dog, the tribal chief, the head of the table, the Universal Champion, with his special counsel, Paul Heyman.
Of course.
Roman Reigns, the big dog, the best heel professional wrestler right now. Him and Kenny Omega, they're doing some of the best work, but I feel like this Reigns, the Reigns we wanted to see for a long time, this is the best heel professional wrestler. This was a damn good match. They did what they could do with what they were supposed to do around the Thunderdome. At the end of the match, after some controversy I didn't like, because I know how they wanted the match to end, but I don't know if we bring that on Paul Heyman. We'll get to that, but the big dog is still the champion technically, but based off of what we watched, Kevin Owens should be his champion. But we'll talk about it.
Same thing happened to Kevin Owens once again. He got thrown to the damn two tables with the equipment on it. From inside the fans.
That was a damn good spot.
I said that spot was going to happen as soon as the match started. I knew they was going to go
right into the table.
Right after that happened, Kevin Owens make his way to the back. When you see the whole Tropicana field with another ring back there, Lisa now stable just sitting there, hella forklifts, hella different equipment. They battled. Kevin Owens power bombs him, try to power through the announce table, but it ain't break. And then he did
up on the black electrical case,
a splash on it. But even before that, when Kevin Owens first came backstage, he looking around out of nowhere. Reigns dropping down cart.
Let's not forget that.
A golf cart.
Golf cart.
A golf cart.
KO just jumped into it. And that's where I can see, because I seen quite a few people on social media and like the Reddit page WWE talking about how they were coming up for the AEW spot with Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy, which you say they was. I mean, WWE's been doing it for fucking years, so I watch it based on that.
There was another table right there with equipment. Reigns on top of that, and then it was a forklift. KO climb on top. A swanton through the table. Perfect on Reigns. And I thought that was game at the moment.
I also want to talk about, before we go forward, I feel like this match was messed up by the inconsistency of the first ref. The first ref to me was horrible. I understand you got to count to 10, but in these last man standing matches, it's become traditional or customary that after these spots, you check on both opponents first, make sure they're good, to delay the count for a second, first and foremost, to make sure for the safety, and then you start the count. There was at least 80% of this match where after these spots, and some of these spots was like, all right, we know they can take this, but you don't know, nigga might have broke something, and he might just need to tell you, I think I tore something. The ref was never going to check on these guys. Like, soon as they fell, he just started counting. And there was sometimes where 8, 9, and 10 were just fast ass counts.
Way out of proportion.
After that, they let that way back out to the front, and it started getting even more nasty because stuff still kept breaking.
As soon as they got back out to the front, Reigns spares KO through the damn LED board on stage.
And out of nowhere, Reigns comes back around with some handcuffs, and they're just scrapping back and forth. After KO got a stun off, he allowed himself to get caught, and then KO handcuffed him to the bottom. And we all knew that he could have stood up to his feet.
He could have,
but he played it to the rules which have been played. He waited till 9. Pulled that referee in.
That hell roll.
That's
That nice Roman
And I would
Reigns
hate
heel
to
roll.
blame this on Paul Heyman,
was
but
KO
it was
right?
clearly Paul's fault. I don't know if KO put the handcuffs in the wrong position or if this wasn't rehearsed, but I think everybody played their part right in this position. But Heyman, I think the ref started his count on time. I think Heyman was supposed to get the key off right in time,
He
around
could
6 or
not get that
7,
key off.
so Roman can jump up and while KO was still down. But I think everybody noticed it wasn't going right. The ref stopped at 6 and was like, everything
He just
good,
randomly
and they
stopped
just
and
stopped the
never
count.
counted.
They never showed the ref again, but they cut in and showed KO on his feet because I don't think KO was supposed to get up. And then it took Heyman like another 15, 20 seconds to get the shit while there's no counting going on. And then all of a sudden, here comes the ref again. And we knew there was nothing you could do to fix that situation. It was all up to Heyman to do his job and get the key off. He didn't even was supposed to get help. Nobody could come and help you in that situation, Paul. You had to finish that. And you knew that right after he got it off, that led to the guillotine like immediately after. And it was over a minute later. That's how we knew that Heyman was the key to that successful finish. And that was WWE botch at its finest.
Right.
Roman Reigns is still your Universal Champion. We go main event time. The men's Royal Rumble match. We're gonna go through it and then we're gonna give you each of our opinions.
Time for some hurt.
Each of our opinions, and as you can see, both of these guys seem to be in the hurt business. Maybe I need to be recruited because they seem to have big things popping and little things dropping. It started off as it was advertised last Monday as Edge would be returning. And he made a powerful promo, which we all seen as foreshadowing. As this was the first time in his many returns over the last year and a half that he specifically pointed out that an injury kept him out of action and forced him to retire and relinquish the title he never lost. He made a point to say he never lost it. He's going to Rumble to get it back. So we already did have a good feeling about this. But as we get into this match.
On this day, you see clearly.
But as we get into this match, it started off with the rivalry that took over the pandemic. It was the Apex Predator, the Viper, the Legend Killer, Randy Orton going up against the Ultimate Opportunist. The WWE Hall of Famer, the 11-time World Champion, the Rated R Superstar Edge. They start off the match. And as we said, this match was going to be like a little 5-minute match to start off. This was the longest start to a Royal Rumble that I've ever seen. Sami Zayn was number 3 to come in next. Edge and Randy starting off. We had Sami come in next. And Mustafa Ali. And they all began to jack all up on Edge. Beat him up real good. But next we had the charismatic Enigma come in. Jeff Hardy. He came in there, tried to save the day. And now this thing started to get up to a jump start. That led to some key guys coming in. We had back-to-back Woods and Big E. They came in to get some work in. And then we had a surprise visit from a guy that spits in the face of people who don't want to be cool. We had Carlito. He looking good, show. He looking
some
good.
backstabbers.
In good shape.
And Shinsuke tried to eat his apple cup. We had from NXT, who made me on the main roster now, the Archer of Infamy, Damian Priest. He came in.
Pretty good. He had a pretty good show.
He came in getting work in. You knew they was gonna make sure John Morrison and The Miz was out there around the same time.
Johnny Jerk.
They came in there. They was getting their work in. We had D-Brock coming at 17, and then at number 18, in his 18th appearance, the Devil's favorite demon, Mayor Glenn Jacobs. We had Kane in the building.
Kane was gonna be in there.
Kane came in there, big gut and all, delivering choke slams.
Slow run.
got him a couple of eliminations out the deal. And then we had Dominic Mysterio entering the fray, and you know what he did. He eliminated Kane Corbin. So you know that thing's gonna keep going. But finally, at number 22, it was time for some hurt, as it was the chief hurt officer of the hurt business, the almighty Bobby Lashley. And he came in hot, delivering spears, delivering spine busters, and just taking people out everywhere.
Yeah,
then who comes in next? Who did they waste the pick on next?
Hurricane
Helms comes out next.
So Hurricane coming through.
But then they made up for it.
I don't get it.
They made up for
What's
it.
up with that?
Because he came to see his peeps Captain Charisma was in the house. Edge was
Reset
excited to
it.
see him because Edge was getting his ass whooped since he came in at number 1. Next we had the phenomenal one coming. And you already knew what it was. This match started to get good. And as we go into it, we're going to break down these last couple guys and go into the match.
And don't forget about, at the beginning, the Orton injury, and he never came back to the match.
The
Suffered
phony
a
kayfabe
knee
injury.
injury. Never came back to the match.
But then when Captain Charisma came, I was like, there's no way Orton could take this shit. And you know, Telp called it from the very beginning. He said, watch they gonna show them niggas in the back. And what they do? Show them in the back with some ice and shit. We ain't never seen no shit like that. So why would y'all show it now? So they baited that in the whole time. Going forward, we had guys like Sheamus, Cesaro, and a returning Messiah come back in as Seth Rollins came back in, ready to go in. And number 30 was the monster, the Strowman Express. We get into this joint. Omos was doing his best shit. He was catching AJ here, catching AJ there. So when Strowman was throwing niggas, everybody, he faked like he was going to throw him again, threw him the other way. We got down to his last 4.
Last 4, of course, being the Messiah that he is, told Braun, let's team up and take out Edge and Christian. Braun threw him to the ground and tried to take him on his own while Edge and Christian attacked him.
And then you see them trying to get Strowman out, and you see Edge and Christian just come and flip them over, and then Edge just flips everybody over.
And Christian ended up going out along with Braun.
Stomp.
Who's going to WrestleMania? Seth Rollins or Edge, damn it.
We got a stomp in, and then we thought Edge was about to go over the top rope, but he took Seth out. And then we turned around like we thought he's about to put in the WrestleMania, but what happened? A Viper sneaked up behind. And out of nowhere,
right behind
RKO. And it was hype. It got me hyped seeing that RKO because we knew it was going to come out of nowhere. And right when you know the classic, I'm about to do you, but then we going to reverse it.
Viper went for the 3rd time, damn it.
It's like Edge wasn't even hurt, dog.
Edge wins the Royal Rumble for the 2nd time, first time since 2010. How y'all feel about that?
He said it. He said it on his interview in Raw that he never lost a title when he was forced to retire back in 2011. 10 years later, he's headed to WrestleMania, and he won another Royal Rumble.
I don't like him like that, but I respect the fact that he was the number 1 entrant and went through all of that. Some people
really
didn't like
last
it,
that
but he
long.
actually endured that. He went through it and got the win.
Good to see Christian was back with him as well.
I mean, my opinion, nothing against Edge. I hate to see anybody go down like that.
Yeah.
You was on your shit. You 11-time champ, retired as the champ, because most people want to go out due to injury, not because you wanted to. And like you said, every day something you fight for just to see if you could still do
Get
it.
back to that.
I just don't like that it had to come at the expense of 29 other superstars, at which at least 2/3 of them bust their ass most of the year to do this shit. And you've had a successful career. You're in the Hall of Fame. Got a family now. And these guys have been busting their ass. They got to take a back seat to yet another nostalgic moment of an older person taking this.
That's basically what it is. Like when Darren's trying to tell me, I understand Edge got hurt and he was already going to be part of a storyline. But as we were also saying, these who just told you, you had 29 people that were competing basically through the whole 2020 through a pandemic, and they get to this moment of the Royal Rumble just to be told.
But one of them people
the Edge
still
gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Edge that was fighting during the pandemic too, so you can't exclude him because he
2
was
matches.
I mean, I understand.
But like he said, Edge is 47 years old. He's an 11-time champion.
But like I said,
what more does he
that
need to do?
shouldn't be the other wrestler's fault that he continues to get injured.
What more does Edge
So it's like, okay, we gotta step up because he gets hurt, but then as soon as he come back, we gotta go back to the bench.
We gotta go back to the back seat, and he
still was
immediately
one
comes
of the
up.
key people in Keith Lee that you probably thought had a chance to win. So something could have changed from that since Keith Lee couldn't be in it.
Man, nothing changed. Edge
Ain't
already
nothing
said
changed. That promo was coming. That promo was coming last moment.
But they wasn't set with Edge winning that because people they had thought about having D. Brown winning that first. And they probably switched
I
that
mean, the way I see it,
it's really
nothing.
based on other people's storylines too. The champion, the other champion.
But what
I
storyline
agree.
does Edge currently
And
have
that's
with
what I'm
any
about to
other
say.
champions
I was
right
about to
now?
say that. At this point, we all know that Edge
None,
is a current
absolutely none.
face. And with Edge being a current face, like he said, he has no impact on any current storyline besides the fact that he fought Orton when he got hurt. But Orton's not the champion. But that's the only way I can see this changing. With Edge winning, I don't see Drew McIntyre being the champion at Edge versus
Like I said,
WrestleMania.
if he won at WrestleMania, you brought Edge back, who just signed the 3-year deal last year. He has to win this title.
Because I'm
if he's
sorry.
won the Royal
I'm
Rumble.
sorry.
But a lot of people that win the Royal Rumble don't have storylines with other people most of the time. Bianca Belair don't have no storyline going on.
But
with
she's a young and up and
Asuka.
coming superstar. She's not a
Or
47-year-old person that's been in the WWE for 20 years and
Shinsuke ain't had
has
no
11-time
storyline
champion.
going on with AJ Styles when he won
Okay.
it.
But also think about this. Let's think about this. And this is how I look at it. I look at both champions. With Edge winning that, do you want to put him in a storyline WrestleMania with Roman Reigns?
That would be
heel?
perfect.
So you want him to come back to not win Roman?
But guess
Because
what?
he does not win that heel. He does not win that heel Roman.
You don't
Let's
know
be
that.
let's be logically
You
real.
don't know that.
We
How
ta-
much they love Edge.
No. I'm talking about
Edge,
I'm talking
Edge is in
about
the same
face
category
Edge.
with
I'm talking about face Edge going up against not just Tribal Chief Roman. I'm talking about Roman Reigns that may have Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso in his corner. This
No,
Reigns
he's not
that they're
winning.
portraying as a new Brock Lesnar, he's not winning. And then when I look at Drew McIntyre, who Vince just spent the last 2.5 years building him back up to be the
Yeah.
chosen one. If you put Edge against Drew McIntyre, two faces, you're basically begging for people to cheer for one of them, which
Maybe
means you're
they
gonna
gonna
make
cheer
them
for
boo
Edge.
for the other one and
Yeah.
turn the other one heel because they're gonna boo against them. You don't want to build up Drew McIntyre. Now you got people cheering for old ass Edge and not cheering for Drew McIntyre, who's at his peak. So the only way he's fighting for that WWE Championship at WrestleMania is if somebody else gets it, not Drew McIntyre, before WrestleMania. So to me, I feel like it should have been another person who's been probably more easier to get in the storylines.
We've seen in the past the title have changed before WrestleMania, and that's still
we still got elimination chamber.
And
Next time the
you
elimination chamber need to be for the title, not for ironing a spot. One of them at least need to be for the title.
So in my opinion, I'm not mad. I just
feel like it could have been given to another superstar.
I just feel like it wasn't for Edge. Y'all could have Edge, like you said, we all know who Edge is. Edge doesn't need a title, or he doesn't need a WrestleMania moment
not
to
at
get
this
that
point.
title back. Like
How many WrestleMania moments has Edge had?
Like if you really want to Edge to get that title back, you could have brought. But if you
10
really wanted him
years.
to get that title back, you could bring him back a couple weeks ago and said have his title match at Royal Rumble and get his title back. But I feel like you're taking away from somebody else's moment where Edge has already had plenty of those moments, and then you bring them back 10 minutes years later to take another a year away from somebody else. I just don't agree with that. But I'm not mad at it. I like it.
Yeah.
But speaking on that, how do y'all feel? Y'all grade as the pay-per-view as a whole?
Give it a B.
I was about to say his name.
B plus. The Rumbles, of course, got the
Nah,
Royal
yeah,
Rumble.
the
Made it good in the last man
The
standing
Rumbles were
match.
pretty good, and like we said, so all I wanted was Bianca Belair to win.
And that's what I was about to point out. The
That's
key
what
point. What is your high point? Of course, I think all our high points
All
Bianca.
our high points
What is your
Bianca
low
Belair.
point? What's your low point of this pay-per-view? The fact that Edge won, that's my low point.
My low point is almost putting Big E out.
Yeah, that was horrible.
I don't
hated
know
it.
what was that for.
And that was horrible. Like, and that's another thing. A motherfucker that wasn't even in the Royal Rumble get to eliminate somebody. That couldn't. You don't think taking out the Intercontinental Champion wouldn't have helped one of those people set up a feud for Big E on SmackDown? That's the
Also,
stuff I be talking about.
another low point that they both can agree with me is that Samoa Joe wasn't in it.
Yeah, I'm upset.
Man.
I don't know if you done, Joe, but I wish you was in it.
This is just our review of the Royal Rumble. We got more episodes coming for y'all. We're going to, of course, give our more analysis about what we think is going to come up.
Yeah.
More on the road to WrestleMania, but we're going to hit y'all more on the head with that later. We appreciate y'all. We see y'all in a little bit. These details they don't want
That
nothing.
man.